Hello, World Cup Diary is back. It's been a big day for me personally because of the Stuart Donald podcast. I have made a video to go with that, so that will be on YouTube somewhere on YouTube. So, World Cup. Now this video, I'm not really going to go over games because there's games happening right now as I'm doing this video. So it seems bizarre for me to talk about games because at the minute, as far as I'm aware, France is winning 1-0. Maybe it's not anymore because I don't get phone signal up here. Who knows? So, I want to talk about the quality of the World Cup, and I don't know if this is maybe just me. I spoke to my dad about this and he says it's often like this, but I just feel like the quality of this World Cup hasn't quite been there. Like, there was that Portugal-Spain game which was pretty awesome, and I think we all enjoyed that. Other than that, I don't know if there's been like a really good game. I don't know. I mean, there's games that I've enjoyed. I enjoyed the Russia opening day. To be honest, I enjoyed the Russia going against Egypt. They're both really good games. But the quality of them games, I wouldn't necessarily say was great. Like, it wasn't really. Mo Salah didn't perform because obviously he's injured and he's not got his arm working. But, you know, it just seemed a bit underwhelming. I mean, if you go through the games I've had, right, Portugal-Spain was perfect. That was awesome. Then France-Australia in the first one. France didn't perform. They won 2-1, but they were great. Australia did play well, and I think that's partly to do with it. But Denmark-Peru, to be honest, there was a missed penalty, and I can't really remember much else about it. I've watched every single game pretty much, but there was a missed penalty and Denmark won, and that was that. Argentina-Iceland. Argentina were absolutely pants, and Leo Messi just didn't look like Leo Messi. Like, it was as though it was his, like, I don't know, his twin brother that had no idea how to play football. He was absolutely hopeless. He missed a penalty. One of the worst penalties I've ever seen. Although apparently his penalty rate was abysmal, like, but Iceland did well though to get the draw, but, you know, wasn't great. Croatia-Nigeria, that was a rubbish game. Finished 2-0. To Croatia, but I didn't enjoy it that much. I don't know about you, but it just was alright. There wasn't really much going on. Costa Rica, Serbia, I can't remember it. Again, I will have watched it because I remember Oviedo, I think, was on the bench, but I can't remember it. Brazil, Switzerland. Brazil played really well for half an hour and then were hopeless after that, so that wasn't a great spectacle. Germany, Mexico. Germany were absolutely hopeless. Mexico played really well though, credit to them. Sweden, South Korea. Sweden won. It was a penalty, and it was a rubbish game. Seb Larsson's playing centre mid for Sweden, man. I mean, what's that about? Belgium, Panama. Belgium were painstakingly horrible for the first 45 minutes. Panama again did well for the 45 minutes. Second half, 3-0. It wasn't really much to report. Lukaku scored a couple of goals. Jersey, England. Now that's a hard game really to decide how entertaining it was because you're always going to be entertained if you're an England fan. So personally, I found it very fun because they won, but other than that, did England perform to expectations? I don't know. Would they expect it to beat Tunisia more than 2-1? Maybe. So I'm going to ignore that one. Colombia, Japan. I missed that one, I admit. It was a red card though, and there was a few goals. So maybe that one probably was a good spectacle. So I'll let them off. Poland, Senegal. The camera turned us off mid-rant. Obviously knew I was speaking sense. Poland, Senegal. I can't remember the game. I think Senegal won. So yeah. Then we had, again, Russia, Egypt. That was a good game because Russia won and Egypt were poor. Uruguay, Saudi Arabia was terrible. 1-0. Bit out of breath from just getting up to that. As to how unfit I am. And Portugal, Morocco. That was a rubbish game. Not really happened. Ronaldo scored early on. Spain, Iran. Rubbish game. 1-0. So Iran had a goal disallowed. And then the games today I haven't seen. So I think that the common theme is the gap. Oh, there's a bit of a spider there. The gap between the top teams and the smaller teams, I think, is far smaller than what we think. Because the international sides that are like, I would say like above average ones, like your 4 stars on FIFA, if I was going to go 3.5, 4 stars, the gap between them and the big teams, what the 5-star teams, is small. Like Germany, Mexico. Germany did dominate possession. They had more shots. But Mexico did a job on them. And I think there's an expectation that the big nations just steamroll the groups. And I don't think that's necessarily true. So I'm just interested to know what you think of that. Like, is the quality of the World Cup worse? Or is the quality of the World Cup just better? And that thing's doing my head in. Is the quality of the World Cup just better and the bigger teams haven't found a way of beating the teams that they should be beating? Because, like, every team's like well organised. It's international football. Every team's organised. Every team seems to have like a star player, apart from like Saudi Arabia and Panama. Like every other team, I think, like isn't a jobber team. Every other team's decent. And I just think maybe our expectations going into it was like, oh, Brazil steamrolls Switzerland, but Switzerland are actually really good. Like, they've actually got some good players. And I think we sort of came in with a false expectation. So I think the World Cup, the quality of the games, I think hasn't been great. I don't think there's been many classics beyond that that Spain-Portugal game. But then, looking back over the years, how many group games do we talk about? How many group games do you ever go, oh, do you remember that so-and-so game in 2006? You don't? So I think it's a false expectation. I think like you're sort of fed how amazing the World Cup is, and then sort of it happens, and although you watch it and you love it, like the games aren't necessarily the best. Like, I see far better games in the Premier League and the Champions League and that than what you see at the World Cup. And it's because every single team at the World Cup, I think, is like more defensively organised, and the games obviously mean a bit more because if you lose the first game, it's very hard for you to qualify, or if you lose any game, it's hard for you to qualify. So every team's like a defence first approach. So yeah, it's just, I'm curious to see what people think of that. I don't know if I'm way off the mark. I don't know if I'm accurate and on target with it. I'm not sure, but I've just been a bit underwhelmed in some of the games. Like the amount of times I'll watch a game and I'll sit there just twittering on my well, I suppose I am tweeting on my phone, but just messing around with my phone and stuff. And like I downloaded like a Pokemon game because when I was watching the World Cup, I was getting a little bit bored. And I know that's a bit weird, and you know, maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I just find catching a Pikachu more interesting than watching Belgium-Panama. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I'm just interested to see what people think. Because some of the games have just been boring. I mean, my girlfriend actually says to us, she's like, why are you watching this? You're not even watching it. You're like half watching it with your phone or on your laptop. And I'm like, well, I've got to watch it because it's football. But the games, you know, just aren't that interesting. So I get distracted. So I don't know. Maybe I'm way off the mark. But either way, there's 2 videos went up today. You might be watching it today, so 2 videos are up at some point. So yeah, there's one which I'm going to talk about, the Stuart Donald podcast, and there's this video, and they'll be uploaded probably just simultaneously. 2 videos for the price of 1. What a day. You can see that these are all buzzing about it. The World Cup Diary will return on Sunday. Yes, it'll return after the England game. However, it probably won't be until Sunday night. So we'll be doing that, and that'll be fun. Other than that, there isn't really much else to report. I'm going to take a well-deserved few days off. Well, I'm working tomorrow, but I'm going to take a well-deserved few days off on Saturday and Sunday, watch the England game, come home, do the video, start again next week. England will be in the group, out the groups, and we will be plain sailing to the quarterfinals. And to be honest, the way the games are going at the minute, I don't even know who will play. I guess it would be Germany. Might not be now. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, follow us on Twitter, all that sort of jazz.